In this video, we're going to discuss the importance of having a well-designed social media platform. In each platform, they allow you a header image, a profile picture, some way to portray to the viewer who you are and what you represent. So if you are portraying yourself, I would strongly recommend that you get a professionally taken photograph and find one that you like really well and use that same image across all of your social media platforms. That way, when someone sees your photograph, they automatically know who you are and what it is you represent. Now, if you're a business, you can use a logo, and if you're a person, you can even have your own logo. Like myself, iPhone Captain is represented through a caricature. Now, if you aren't familiar what that is, that's just like a little cartoon that has been drawn, and it resembles the person in the photograph which they have drawn the caricature of. And you'll see what it is I'm talking about as we go through my social media platforms here in this video. Now, I have broken it down into some different steps, and I have titled it Learn Designing for Social Media, because you're going to have to design each platform to be attractive, and you want it to be attractive enough to catch the user's attention where they will stop and read your biography and more. But the first thing that's going to catch their eye is going to be your profile picture or logo, or the header image, or whatever that you are representing on each platform. Each platform has something different. You know, Facebook has cover images, Twitter has header images. So going on, the first thing I tell you to do here is to develop your assets, and that is, I'm referring to the images for your different social media platforms, as well as the text documents needed for each platform, and that is referring to your bio. Now, you would also need to try to come up with some type of little short phrase, a little catchphrase, or a one-line sentence that can be used to represent your brand or platform. And the second thing I state here is to know your limits of each social media platform in regards to size of your photos, cover images, the length of your biographies, things of that nature. And lastly, I state again here that you need to write a bio that stands out, which can be used across all the other social media platforms, which we've already discussed earlier. Now, in this particular screenshot here, I have given you some dimensions for Google+, and I am going to do that for some of the more popular platforms. I'm not going to share every single platform and take the time to do every single one. I'm only going to share the ones that I think are most important and that have been most helpful for me. However, just because Pinterest isn't that attractive for me, that could be your best platform. So, you know, here again, you're going to have to do a bit of research to determine where it is that your audience is mostly hanging out. So keep that in mind. And in this Google Plus dimension size here, you have the little screenshot at the top with a cover photo dimension of 2120 by 1192, and it needs to upload at least a minimum of 920 by 520. And you know, that's just I'm giving you some profile picture sizes, 250 by 250. So these are going to be things that we just sort of run through pretty quickly. Here are my Twitter dimensions, and you can see this is taken directly from my Twitter page, and you see the big iPhone Captain banner in the background. That was something that I created myself. Now, if you aren't familiar with Photoshop or GIMP, I do have a GIMP course here on Udemy that will teach you how to make such things as this particular item here. And it's also a free software, so it wouldn't cost you anything. But if you don't want to go that route, you can always outsource it on something like Fiverr or Elance, and it's not usually very expensive on there, not too much, and you can get some pretty nice things. Just take, for instance, that particular character you're looking at right there came from Elance about 3 years ago. I've been using it ever since, and I just liked it. I got a lot of comments on it. Everyone seemed to take to it very well, so I have continued to use it and keep it on my Twitter account. And as you can see, it's still there today. And I give you your Twitter dimensions, cover photo dimensions, in-stream dimensions, meaning if you want your photos to appear correctly in the stream as your Twitter feed goes up the page, then you'll need to give them the 440 by 220 pixel size. And your image can never be any bigger than 3 megabytes. So keep that in mind. That's something that you will definitely want to know. Here again is a snapshot taken directly from my YouTube account, and as you can see, this particular iPhone Captain banner up at the top, the blue background, is something that I actually created in a iOS. I think it was. I created the background in an iOS app and then created the iPhone Captain text, and actually that character that you see in the banner is from Elance. So I put a number of different things together from a number of different places to come up with my iPhone Captain YouTube channel header. And here is your cover dimensions as of 2014 is what that's referring to. It has a 2560 by 1440 size, and it goes into the different devices, referring to tablets, mobile, TVs, desktop, and it even gives you the length of your video titles, and your video description can't be over 5,000 characters, and the video dimensions of 2560 by 1440. So keep that stuff in mind. Here are your Instagram dimensions. Here again as of 2014, and this is 2015 we're in, guys, but I couldn't really find anything that had been updated for 2015 yet, so I was taking that to mean that these were still in effect. So once we have some new items that have been updated, I will be sure those are updated in the course. So if you are still seeing these particular sizes here in the course, they are current. And here's your Pinterest, and you can see here it has a profile image of 165 by 165, and you have your board size is 234 by 284 and a scaled height of 238. So it's broken down by different pins and preview shots. So whatever it is you need to know, it is there. Here's LinkedIn, and here again is something that I haven't used a great deal, but I hope to get more involved with that especially. And here are some more social media tips for you. Here's your Twitter header image broken down by size. As you can see here, we have all the different arrows showing you the different size dimensions that you need, and so on and so forth. So actually this is the Facebook. This isn't Twitter, so don't get that confused. This is the Facebook image, header image. So keep that in mind. That is a correction. That was the header cover. And your important text documents for social media platform are going to be your biography, of course. Like I stated earlier, you definitely want something that stands out, that you can use across each and every platform. And you need to write an About Me page on your Facebook that dazzles others. And try to come up with some type of favorite phrase, like I was talking about earlier in the video, that users can always connect your brand or face to. For example, here's an example I use for Nike. Everyone knows when you hear the phrase "just do it," what brand that's referring to. Nike. And that's what I'm referring to, as to try to come up with some type of phrase that will help you out, some type of tagline. And the most important thing in social media is engaging your audience. If there isn't any engagement going on, meaning any talking back and forth on the different platforms, then that's what you should be striving to do. That's what Google ranks best, is engagement. The more engagement you have, the more sharing, the more talking, the more commenting, the better it's going to be for you. Now, you also, to get that engagement, you always want to try to help everyone that you can. If someone leaves a question for you, you definitely want to answer that question on your page. But you can also search out these different communities on Twitter. You may search a particular hashtag for affiliate marketing, for example, or iPhone, iOS application, anything, and then you can join in the conversation there. And once you begin answering enough questions, people are going to recognize that you are an expert or an authority in that particular content area, and then they're going to respect what it is that you say. And anytime they see that you've answered a particular topic, they will read and follow whatever instruction you give them. So keep that in mind, and not only will that help you to increase followers, but it will also attract more people to your site, therefore turning into more sales if you are trying to sell something or whatever it is it may be. You're going to have more people attracted to you, therefore you're going to have more results of what you want to occur. Last but not least, just to leave a little thought with you, just for instance, a tagline or some type of little phrase. I don't know if I read this or someone quoted it, but I may be getting it all wrong, how it was worded. But in essence, here's what it meant. In order to become a millionaire, you need to help 1 million people. Now that's pretty deep if you ask me. That's something like the tagline that I was referring to. So guys, hope this one helped. We'll talk again in the next one.